Hi, my name is Laura Staley, and I am back with another video on Excel and how to use it effectively. So one of the basic concepts in Excel is about worksheets and workbooks. And all of this has to do with the files that you will create in Excel. Now think about it. If you use Word or PowerPoint, then when you create a file, you basically type something in, save as, and give it a name, and you're set. That's your file. And that's the way it can work in Excel as well. But there is more functionality available to you that can make using Excel easier and that can make finding your data a whole lot simpler. So let's talk about that concept, worksheets and workbooks. Now, let me start it up just to show you. I'm going to start Excel. And when you start it, it gives you the templates that you might use. But over here, it says blank workbook. And I bet that if you have open Excel, you have just seen that it's clicked on, and you've opened it, and boom, you're done. If you type in data now and save it, then that's your file and that's what you will use. But there is more functionality available to you. So let me give you some definitions. This is a workbook that holds the data that you have on a specific topic or for a certain project or whatever it is. And within that, you have one worksheet. Look down here at the bottom, and it says sheet 1. Whenever you open up an Excel blank workbook or you just open up a new file, then what happens is you open up an Excel workbook with one worksheet in it, and it will automatically name it sheet 1. And so I could type in some data in here. And create a worksheet, and I've already done videos to show you how to do that, and save it and then close it if I wanted to. But let's say I'm working on kind of a complex thing where I do, say, for example, a monthly report, and I have to do this report once a month. So instead of creating 12 files, what I could do is to create one file that has all of the monthly reports in it. So for example, I could rename sheet 1. So I'm going to come down here to the bottom, double click on it, and type in January, and then hit enter, and it is renamed this sheet to January. So let's say a month goes by and I'm ready to come back in and create my next report. This little plus sign to the right of the January tab, if I click it, it creates a new worksheet. Now I have two worksheets, one called January and one called sheet 2. But I want it to be named February. So what do? Good answer. I double click on sheet 2 and I type in February and enter, and it renames the sheet. And I could do that once a month for an entire year and end up with 12 worksheets in this workbook, January through December, and then I would have it in one file. So let's say I do a save as, and I am going to put this on my desktop so I can find it easily. And I'm going to call this my monthly report and hit enter. Now I'm going to close Excel, and I am going to go find that spreadsheet. So when I double click it and open it from wherever it is I have it, I happen to have it on the desktop, then notice that it opens up my file with both worksheets in it. So if I had 12 tabs at the bottom by the end of the year, then I would have them all grouped together and I wouldn't have to go looking for July or figure out, is that July from this year or last year? Because I probably want to call it monthly report 2019 or whatever the year is. Okay, does that make sense? So to bring this into the real world, it's like having a file folder in real life. And in this file folder, I have multiple sheets of paper that have all to do about my website. And so that is what this is like. It's like having a physical file folder and you have all of these different sheets in it so that you can group them and keep track on where all your data is. Okay, does that make sense? I hope so. Now, one other thing I want to tell you is that when you open up one of these worksheets, sometimes in my training career, people said, oh, I may run out of space on this spreadsheet. And probably you will not. There was only one group of people I ever worked with who ran out of space in their Excel spreadsheets. And that was some of the scientists that I worked with who did research. And they really did max out their spreadsheets. And the reason why I'm so sure about this is on any one of these worksheets, you have over 1 million rows. That's right, 1 million rows and more. And there are over 16,000 columns, 16,384 to be specific. So you can have so much data in your spreadsheets. Now, if you don't use as much space, then it's just not going to be there and it won't be used, and that's fine. But just know that you will have plenty of space for your data when you're doing it. And you can have that much space on each one of these tabs in this one workbook. Now, keep in mind that your performance may degrade if you have dozens of worksheets with thousands of rows in one file. And that's a function of the memory of your computer. That's not an Excel thing. That is actually your computer. But for those of you starting out or those who use it sort of in a normal way, you're not going to have to worry about it. So I hope this helps. Keep in mind when you see workbook, that's the folder. And when you see worksheet, that is the sheets of paper in that folder. So start thinking about it. What kind of projects do you have where you might group worksheets together so that you can more easily find it? Think about it and then play with applying it to your data itself. Take a look beneath this video and I will put a link there to my video on how to enter data into Excel. Thank you very much and you have a great day.